Recently, Helldivers 2 has lost 90% of its player base. And on the surface level, it sounds bad. And it's supposed to be because the writer intends to catch your attention with negativity. And this is going to be more prominent when it comes to video game articles because there's so many games coming out now that everyone has no time for these games. And quite honestly, I hate these articles just because, yes, we understand that this game had huge success and now it's losing its player base, but you have to, like most articles say, this game lost this many players. Game is bad now. What do they do wrong? Technically, they didn't do anything wrong. It's just how the gaming industry works now. And one of the reasons why I hate articles like this, articles that say, game lost X amount of player base, game is bad now. For one, this is going to happen because there's so many games coming out now. In the month of July 2024, there's around 32 games coming out. Are you going to play every single one of these games? If you are, you need help. But let's say you're roughly going to play maybe 5 of these games. And this isn't including the games on your backlog, FYI. And therein lies my point. There's just too many games coming out almost every week. And even in the slow months like July, where, you know, you're supposed to be out and about, enjoying time with family and friends, with your partner or whatever. But instead, we're getting more games coming out. And of course, eventually you and I are going to stop playing the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. And not just because that DLC is so fucking hard to play. It's because Mesmer is such a pain in the ass. But in its seriousness, once a game is done, it's done. Gamers move on to the next game. Rarely does one gamer stay on one game. Like I've seen maybe my friends do that once in a while, but after a while they just end up dropping it. Now in most cases, articles are talking about live service games. And in this case, live service games require people to be playing it constantly, because if they don't, then they lose profit, especially the free-to-play games. And in this case, we're talking about Helldivers 2. Of course, this topic is interesting because this game is the most popular game that came out this year. It peaked at 458,000 players, and now it's averaging 46,000 in the last 24 hours, which to me is still really good. Not because of that number still being pretty high, like when you look at 46,000 players, that is still a lot of people. And then also considering the fact that the devs themselves never even expected the player count to go past 50,000. So if anything, I feel like the devs finally get a sigh of relief after the fiasco of the early servers and the Sony accounts fiasco. Heck, most live service games tend to fall apart within 2 months of release because there's another one just around the corner. Like for example, XDefiant, like that game came out, guarantee you barely peaked at 100,000. It doesn't show a real player count, but I assume so, just because the amount of people watching XDefiant on season 1, not that many. And then you also have games like Destiny 2, Apex Legends, and Fortnite that have retained most of their player base despite being more than 5 years old. While you have a live service game coming out almost every month this past year, it's hard to keep players in a live service game. So yes, this is going to happen. Other than those games, this is going to happen a lot. Players are going to drop one live service, or even heck, any game or even live service game to go on to the next game, because there's just so much new stuff coming out, and us gamers, we just like to try new things. We like to see what's trending. We like to see what cool stuff is out there, what this game brings to the table. You know, it's just how we are. And I'm tired of these articles because people read too much into it. People move on. There's probably another co-op horde shooting coming out in the next year or so. And I guarantee you there will be 10 more copies of it made by a Chinese developer. But it's only natural. Now that there's so many game studios, indie game studios, and like with the huge publishers, there's so many studios under them. It's going to happen. There's just so many damn games out there. For me, I have the fear of missing out on the latest game. Once I experience what the game has to offer though, I'm already moving on to the next one. It's not because the game is bad or the game has lost its touch. It's because there's something new. There's nothing wrong with switching games. Like, you could be loyal to a game forever, or you could just keep moving on from one game to another. I mean, at the end of the day, it's everyone's money. It's funny. There's actually a quote I use all the time, and it's perfect to defend gamers who are constantly changing from one game to another. Would you rather have the same burger over and over again? Or would you rather try the new burger joint that everyone and your mom is talking about, and they're raving it's the best burger they've ever had?
This is a tasty burger.
Exactly. You'd want to try it too. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 500 subs. If you guys can help out, please do so. And if you like the video, please give it a like and comment down below. Do you like these type of articles? Do you feel like they cover important things, or do you feel like they're just doing this because it's an easy catch and grab story? But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, again, please subscribe. Sorry, my throat just died there. And yeah, stay safe, stay beautiful. Love y'all.